This is the one. Greetings, my name is Jim Ryan. And, okay. Let's check on time. I do monologues, after a fashion. Very sort of strange little things. Some of you might actually have heard my stuff before, strangely enough, because Jen has done a couple of things. I think I transplanted here the Kingdom of Java monologue, among others. But we've got a few pieces here, and let's see what happens. Okay, this first one is called Death and Taxes. Good evening, and welcome to Death and Taxes! Today's contestants will be competing to see who gets the biggest tax break and who gets to live longest. Here briefly is how the game works. Each contestant itemizes his W-2 and then proceeds to fill out his 1099. If he has any dependents to declare, he must also fill out the 1170. If he declares the wrong number of dependents, the man-eating tiger will be released into his cell. If a contestant has any deductibles, he refers to the 1027. If he has any questions about the 1027, he need only refer to Schedule A on the 1590. If he finds his 1099 inadequate in any other way, he will then have 30 seconds to correlate his 1750, 1170, 1820, and 1560 with his J7, W2, 1320, and 1984. And from there we go on to the bonus round. For every correct answer, the contestant receives enough bread and water for one more day. For every incorrect answer, he'll be penalized one limb. If at any point a contestant submits a form without copying it first, or if he is unable to complete his forms in the allotted time, the man-eating tiger will be released into his cell. And at the end of the game, the last surviving contestant gets to come back tomorrow and do it all over again to defend his title as returning champion. Do we all understand the rules? Great, then let's play Death and Taxes! Turning pages. Alright, this one's slightly more subdued. This is Leprechaun Psychology. Moves. Okay. Now, sir, let's get on to our last topic. You say you've been seeing little people. Could you describe them to me? Green coats and little top hats. When do you usually see them? At times of stress, perhaps? Not particularly, I see. What exactly do these little people do? Yes, drinking, dancing, playing the violin. Have you been drinking a lot lately? No, I see, sir. I try to stay off the old spirits as often as I can as well. I wish I had your resolve. So, when did you first start seeing them? That's about when you came into your fortune, isn't it? So what happened? You caught one, did you? It is a major hallucination indeed, sir, I must say. But you little people with green coats? Really, sir? No, sir, you needn't raise your voice. Just breathe. Perhaps you're harboring some kind of resentment. What else happened? So he played games with you. What do you mean, sir? Teleporting from place to place, hiding, running away? You probably terrified the poor fellow. That is to say, sir, you terrified the image of him that you had in your mind. That's what I meant. Yes. Why do you seem so resentful about this? What did this little fellow do to you? He made you wear a pair of green shoes? Oh, that's silly. We haven't used green shoes in years. No, sir. Just speculating about something. Made you dance around, did he? Well, what did you do to him to make this figment of your imagination so upset? You did what? You put him in a cage? Whatever would make you do a daft thing like that? I see, sir. You got the idea into your head that he was a leprechaun and you held him against his will when he wouldn't lead you to his pot of gold. I've got a lot of patients like you who keep thinking they're seeing the little people. You're all the same. You keep hunting them down, trapping them, forcing them to give you all they own, demanding to be taken to the end of the rainbow. I mean, really, what self-respecting leprechaun would hide his gold in such an obvious place? But you never let up, do you? What do you think we are, made of money? Sorry, no, that was just a bit of role-playing to see how you'd react. Very good. I think, sir, that these little people are all in your head. They're phantoms brought on by a guilt complex you developed from stumbling across that pot of gold you mentioned finding that one day that brought you your fortune. And so you created these leprechauns as a way of justifying your amazing luck. I see that we're out of time. I just give your check to Mr. Darby out in the waiting room, as usual. I'm sure that after a few more sessions we'll have you good as new. Good day, sir. Faith and begar, there must be an easier way to make our money back than this. Poetry. Is this the Ballad of the Highwayman? Roll up and see the mechanical bird. Come here and listen to its every word. A wonder of wonders, it chirps out your name. You've just got to listen. I'm sure you'll be game. Just amble on over and put down some cash. I promise you'll love it. Please stay. Don't be rash. No? Do you like hearing the holy church bells? Or perhaps you will listen to this magic shell. A chorus of angels is hidden inside. Their voices are lovely and chiming with pride. Just hoof it on over and pay a small fee. I promise its music will fill you with glee. No? Have you a soul that is tender and mild? Perhaps you will listen to this starving child. This poor lad's so hungry he's stiff as a board. He's not carved from logs, he just looks it, my lord. Just wander on over and do him some good. I promise he just looks to be made of wood. No? Then just one more item before we're all done. Perhaps you will listen to my trusty gun. Hand over your money before I'm enraged. I gave a performance, now time for my wage. Just saunter on over and hand me your purse, and let's have a smile, for it could be much worse. Yes? Ah. I see now that you're the most clever of men, and though I'm a fraud, I must bow to your ken. I'll take now my leave, and your money as well. No need to be flustered, I swear I'll not tell. I must say you've been in the finest of humours, and if I may say, a most gracious consumer. I seem to do a lot of TV ads. Here's one. Being a professional wrestler is tough. Competition is fierce, and to keep your popularity up, you've got to perform miracles. To stay in the game, you've got to be practically able to walk on water every night. And like my friends, I used to think only lizards could do that. Until now! On nights that I get pinned to the mat, I like to cool off with the great taste of Basilisk, the new protein drink that puts the power of the lizard in your hands. Basilisk keeps your skin good and scaly, so you can take those extra hard punches, and gives your skull the extra flexibility it needs to help get you out of those tight corners. With Basilisk, you can have a fast, disposable tail that'll sweep your enemies off their feet. Sure, it numbs your pain centers, but if things get rough and you do lose a hand or a foot, Basilisk will help you to grow a healthy green claw in its place. It'll even give you an extra pair of eyelids for those times when one pair just isn't enough. With Basilisk, I never have to blink when I'm in the arena. Basilisk will give you the power to turn your competition to stone. Call 1-800-BASLISK. Only 3 easy payments of $19.95 for a year's supply. Keep it room temperature and out of the reach of children. Use of Basilisk may be prohibited in some states. This offer is only good while supplies last, so call now. 1-800-BASLISK. That's 1-800-BASILISK. Okay, just got 2 more. 3 more. Well, here we are at the 19th Annual Shakespeare Relay. People from all over the country have gathered here to watch their favorite Shakespearean characters compete in this glorious event as they each strain to get as far as they can in their most famous monologues before they run out of time. They're all coming up to the reciting line now. From the inside, it's Prospero with a touch and a feeling, Mark Antony with his friends, Romans and countrymen, Macbeth with If 'Twere Done When 'Tis Done, Jaques with All the World's a Stage, and on the outside, everybody's favorite golden boy, Hamlet, the great Dane himself, with his treasured to be or not to be. They look ready now, the starter raises his flag, and they're off. And Macbeth is making a good start, feeling for best it were done quickly. Mark Antony is getting his ears lent in second, and Hamlet's question is third, leaving Prospero and Jaques as merely players running neck and neck in 4th place. Macbeth is still leading, but seems to be slowing to check his dagger, and Hamlet is speeding past the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune into second, leaving Mark Antony burying Caesar in a close third. Jaques is pulling into 4th, mewling and puking as they go around the midpoint, leaving Prospero falling behind in last place, probably wishing for his winged aerial. And Macbeth is starting to lose ground fast as Hamlet and Mark Antony advance on the waves from a sea of troubles and Caesar's ambition. And in these last few seconds, they're crammed very closely together within this wooden node, but that's Henry V, so don't worry about that. And Macbeth is falling behind. It looks like he's gotten lost in Birnam Wood. And now as they come into the final stretch, it's Hamlet and Mark Antony side by side. Caesar's nobility versus perchance to dream. There's the rub. And they're nearing the finish. And Hamlet has slipped on his bare bodkin. Antony pulls ahead as the ending bell sounds. And the stenographers are calculating the scores, and it's Mark Antony in 1st place, with Brutus as an honourable man. Hamlet 2nd, with Who Would Fartles Bear? Jaques in 3rd, with the 5th stage of man. King Macbeth in a sad dagger-clutching 4th. And finally, poor Prospero in last place, wanting to drown himself and his book. And there you have it. A most exciting day here at the 19th Annual Shakespeare Relay. And now back to the studio. Okay, folks, this one I always save for last. And you'll see why in just a moment.
Oh boy. Take it.
Woo! Cereal is so excited.
All right, here we go.
Let's do it.
Anti-talk show. Tonight on Firing Line, we discuss the subject of coffee and try to answer the question, is there too much caffeine in it? And what effect is it having on the U.S. population? We have an expert here in the studio, Mr. Jorge Valdez. We'll be talking to him in a moment, and we'll be taking some of your calls as well. The number is 555-9153. Jorge, I'd like to start by asking a simple question. Do you think there's too much caffeine in the coffee? Well, now, before you answer that, let me show you these figures we got from the University of Virginia. According to this chart, there's been a geometric increase in the nation's caffeine levels over the last 30 years. Let's go to the phones for a reaction to that. Hello, LA, you're on the air. Hello? LA? Hello? Hello? Well, it looks like we got cut off. We'll go to another call in a moment. But if you're just tuning in, tonight on Timeline, we discuss toffee. Is there too much sugar in it? And what effect is it having on the U.S. population? Jorge, do you think the sugar content of toffee is having an adverse effect on the population? Take your time, think about it. And in the meantime, let's take a look at these figures from the University of Cambridge. But first, let's take another call. Hello, Cleveland, you're on the air. Cleveland, hello? You'll have to speak up, Cleveland. I can't hear you. Cleveland, we'll transfer you back to the operator and get this straightened out. The number is 555-3519. Tonight on Party Line, we discuss rainwater. Is it too wet? Jorge, how soggy did you get walking from the cab to the studio this evening? Take your time. Let's go to the phones. Hello, Madrid. You're on the air. Madrid, hello? I'm sorry, Madrid. I can't understand you. Madrid, we'll transfer you back to the translator and get this straightened out. The number is 555-5391. Let's look at these figures from the University of Berlin. They're huge. Tonight on Clothesline, we discuss spaghetti. Is it too stringy? Let's take a call. Hello, Geneva. You're on the air. Awesome, isn't it? Jorge, would you say that your last meal was stringy, very stringy, or not stringy at all? Hang on, Jorge. Hello, Moscow. You're on the air. Before we take your question, Moscow, let's take a look at these figures from the University of Sydney. Aren't they pretty? The number is 555-6666. Tonight on Conga Line, we discuss dance moves. Are they getting too risky? Tell us, Jorge, about how bad is the muscle pain you're getting from all those splits you do on the dance floor every night? Hello, Johannesburg. You're on the air. The number is 555-6969. Jorge, any final comments? I'm sorry we're out of time. Next time on Streamline, we'll answer the question, is there too much crack in my coffee? Good night!